Hello! Today we are going to have a look at the Volcano Manor from a level design and world design perspective. Having a look at the Volcano Manor from the outside, it looks quite impressive, right? A large building, a large manor, and when you have a look at the map with a volcano inside, well, it looks interesting, right? So let's get right into it, shall we? From the outside it looks quite big, but, well, this might disappoint some of you, at least it disappointed me, but most of this big looking building is inaccessible. For example, you can never go up there. It's just facade, it's just the outside, and, well. And I've already placed some beams because I wanted to look something up, so I will show you what I found. But first of all, looking at the manor from the outside, it looks quite good. The building itself looks quite good. What I just don't like is these stupid wooden beams here. I think they're there so they can do construction work, I guess, like repairing the facade, I guess. Or maybe it's just there to trigger some people, I don't know. Let's get inside, shall we? And I'm trying not to despawn this beam because, well, before we go inside, this beam, excuse me, is almost right in front of these 3 windows over there. Keep that in mind. And then inside I've placed a second beam, but, well, let's get inside first, because it looks quite interesting inside. When you get here first, then, I mean, it looks a little bit red, and that's because of these torches here. For some reason, all the torches in here and the candles and, well, basically every single light source is a bit red, more red than a different fire in this game, which is quite interesting. But it's not hard to see. The interior looks quite fancy, and that's because it is fancy. Everywhere are ornaments, gold. I think gold and red is the theme of the Volcano Manor, which is quite odd, because gold is usually a sign of the Earth Tree, but the Volcano Manor is the opposing faction of the Earth Tree, basically. But I guess this is why it's more red. And we also have everywhere, well, not everywhere, but we also have painting of, I guess, a burning Earth Tree, so this is their goal, I guess. There is this open door right here because I actually went already through this whole area, so this is usually closed. You can't close it from this side, so right now we only have one path ahead. In here, which looks like well, I don't know what it is, like we have a big ass table over here, so people are dining here, at least it looks like it, or at least drinking something. Looks quite fancy. Red candles, by the way, a fireplace, and over here we have Tanith with her Crucible Knight and a big ass painting of Rykard. Well, I'm not talking to the NPCs here, I've already talked to them, but that's not the point. Let's have a look upstairs, because there are currently only 2 ways we can go. One way is following this hallway, and the other one is going upstairs, and we are right now going upstairs. Let me put this lantern on my hip so we can actually see something. And this is the second beam, and right now we are gonna get invaded, and this is the problem that I'm seeing. Come on, invader, please. There we go. Okay. And there's the problem. You see, this is this beam over here on the map. This is the first beam placed in here. And I was wondering, because the dimensions seemed quite odd, and I was right. The outer facade, or this rounded off building piece of wall structure we saw from the outside, is actually over here. So, oh well, the game is playing with perspective in this case. And not only at this point, but in general, I think in the Volcano Manor is quite the... It's messing with my brain map, so to speak. This room here seems to be the big-ass dining room where you would basically invite... I don't know who you would invite, like, because every single faction hates you, but I guess you could invite your fellow recusants or something to dine over here. Quite the interesting curtains. I guess you could like close these curtains once you're dining, so no one is bothering you, but I mean, it looks more cozy than that, right? With these curtains. They're looking quite nice, I must say. Well, it's the fancy place, so, well, of course. I don't get why there are random-ass chairs over here, maybe for servants to sit here and wait. Isn't it? Okay, you can despawn now. This person won't follow you to this place. Oh, they're not following you down here, so that's quite nice. But so far we only had 2 ways, and one was a dead end. That's what the word. That's the word what I'm searching for. Keep in mind this door over there isn't open. So after we talked to Tenneth, we get a key. Excuse me.
Someone please kill him.
Yeah.
That horrendous serpent.
Mm-hmm.
Praetor Rykard.
Okay. Thanks. So with the key you got from Tenneth, you can't open this door, but you can open every other door that is here. In this room we have Bernal, Rhea, and when you've played through the story, what's his name? I always forget his name. The dude who cries all the time, like that he's a failure, not a warrior. This door is the same, leads to the same room. This room here is, I think, what's her name? Raya's room. And, well, usually there is a wall here, but you can just roll against this wall and it will disappear. This is the big secret. What is a bit odd about this room, or about all of these few rooms? First of all, why do we only have access to so little rooms? I mean, we have all of this area over here, like, there's a lot more room for, well, rooms. And, like, we have one big room, which is clearly not a room to sleep in. Then we have one bedroom. I would call them bedroom. And, oh, excuse me, wrong side. And another bedroom. And, spoiler, this room behind here looks basically the same thing. So, only 3 rooms, and there are no beds in here, by the way. I called them bedrooms, but it's just a table, another table, and, well, nothing else. I wish there were just a little bit more room, so it looks like there are actually people inside that could live in here, like the recusants. They're probably living here, right? Like, and Tenneth, where's she sleeping? Are they even sleeping? I don't know. That's the interesting part. It, again, is for my world design, it looks like they failed again at this department, in my opinion, but oh well. So, going through here we have a secret corridor leading into the, into the dungeon itself, with a few snails or snakes. I really like the design of these. They're so cute. At least I think they're cute. But this is quite interesting because the Volcano Manor obviously has a dark secret. And here we came from there. We can go downstairs, further into the cellar or the dungeon, or we can go through here, which is basically just going around these rooms we just inspected. And when we roll in here, we see the other side of the one room with an item over here. We can't open the door, but it's, again, there is no bed in here, which is strange. And I think these rooms exist so they can abduct people. Because that's the big theme of the Volcano Manor, they are abducting people like crazy. Going down here, we are faced with a Bloodhound Knight. Probably, I guess this one is serving 10th as well, and either he's the one abducting the people from the rooms, or he's the one protecting this area from, like, people that want to flee. I would just imagine. Let's just go through here, nothing much to talk about this. Basically, dungeon with some, like, what's it called? Straw? Hay? I don't know, what's the difference? One is dried, one is not dried, I guess. And this is awkward, or this is weird, because we're coming out of this abductor dungeon, right? And now we are in a chapel? Church thingy? They really like putting random ass churches, chapels in your way. Which is odd. We had the same thing in Leyndell, where we had to go through the wall, from the wall into a chapel church kind of room, and then on another wall, which is... I don't get why they do this, but it's okay, I guess. And then here is the secret of, well, the Volcano Manor. And no, it's not the volcano. I think this is pretty obvious that there's a volcano, but it is this town down here and these snake people. And I must say, the town right here looks amazing. It has some features that are questionable, but they look great nonetheless. And I really like that they, for the most part, at least in this town, they have a lot of doors, indicating that you can actually go inside. And I think... where is it? I think I pull down the sounds a bit, because I've noticed this is quite annoying when I want to talk. Some random enemy does something loud and, well, we're contesting each other with the sound, basically. What I really like about these buildings is that they actually have a door. Isn't that great? They actually have doors. Which should be obvious, right? They should have doors, right? It's a building. But yet, in so many places, this game is lacking doors. Which is just strange. Well, the town looks quite nice. Obviously, it's a town full of dead bodies and blood and destruction and dogs, abductor virgins, all this good stuff. And I guess these dudes are here, like the prisoners. These... are they Albinorics? I think they're Albinorics, right? Albinorics are the dudes with the elongated limbs and stuff. First or second generation, I can't remember. I think first generation, right? But let's have a look at this specific part here, and first we have to go on top of the roofs, because there's something that I'm not quite getting. I mean, usually the proportions of the buildings in this game or are quite small. Like, I mean buildings. Like, the buildings are quite small. But these buildings over here, like, they look suitable for a person. Like, they're looking reasonably big. If you've seen the Landell video, the buildings in Landell seemed quite small in comparison. Like, they're still big, but the actual room you have inside these buildings was very small. In comparison, here we have quite, most of the time, quite nice dimensions in these buildings, or at least it looks like. But here's the questionable thing. This part I'm working on, I'm not quite getting, because yes, this is somewhere where you can go from here, inside of course. Up here you should have a staircase, no. But again, there are missing doors here, which is quite odd. And like, do these zigzag walkways exist? They feel quite like, it feels like pure level design to get up here. Hello, snake. They're quite cute. I like the snakes, they look cute. But I guess that's just nitpicking. But I like nitpicking, right? This is my jam, so to speak. But let's keep going. So far, well, this is the, what's it called? Prison Town, something like this. And what is it? Yeah, Prison Town Church. It's a church, not a chapel. And this is the Prison Town, basically a town for prisoners. I don't know what the Volcano Manor is doing. Are they trying to transform people into snake soldiers, or what are they doing? Are they feeding them to the snakes in, like, with the hope that the snake people can reproduce or whatever? Because there's quite a lot of death here. All of this is like, as you can hear, it's quite squishy sounding. Probably like the mush of people. But I'm really fond of this part of the Volcano Manor, of the town itself, because it looks quite nice. It looks actually like a town, or, well, like a, yeah, let's call it a town that you can actually live in, with quite the complexity. I like it. It looks cozy. Well, minus the dead bodies. Like, let's just imagine there were no dead bodies here. But this is basically a dead end as well. Well, not quite. We also have this thing over here where you can explore more of the dangerous side. And this part over here looks like, well, of course the buildings are slowly, really slowly, falling into the lava itself. But I think what happened here is, once this was a, well, functioning looking place, right? But then maybe the volcano erupted, or must be, right? The volcano for some reason erupted, or at least the lava came down here, because this looks like an oopsie, basically. Because why would you send lava to your town of prisoners? Wouldn't make any sense. So I guess this one erupted, or for some reason produced more lava than usual, and this whole town sunk into it. What we can do here is actually jump over there towards this item. And don't worry, when you're jumping or falling into the lava, you're not actually dying directly. It's dealing damage over time, and the damage output is quite low, so you have quite a lot of time. Let's see. Well, I can cheat basically, right? Ah, fuck. Even with cheats, I failed. But it doesn't matter. Well, you're supposed to jump over here, grab this item, and then jump down here. And here we have a nice little cave part with pot boys and their version of a graveyard, I guess. Because they're not... I mean, why do they have a graveyard? They already have like 10 billion corpse piles up there. The small little graveyard won't suffice. Now that I think of it, maybe this was once a normal town, for some reason built in a volcano, and then Rykard decided to do his bad stuff basically and transformed this one into a prison. Could also be the case. Maybe the volcano erupted once Rykard fed himself to the serpent. For some reason this gave the volcano power. Because basically lava is like... it's basically the embodiment of power, right? Of like raw power, like the primal power of the earth. And the rage of the earth. You could read this into. And again, one of these strange looking wall pieces that are quite frankly too small for a person to fit through. Despite having windows there, you can actually see it's like... there's a window there, but yeah, no one... it's solid rock. But going this way, we loop back to the beginning right here, which is... oof, almost fell down there. Which is quite nice, I guess. So you have a quite... what's it called? Linear path, right? A few loops here and there, but there's basically already only one path. Of course, we can go into this place right here that is locked by the stone sword key, and when we unlock it, we can see it's just a room, like, with a destroyed ceiling. Just a room, just to unlock one item. And these banners, the banner of the Earth Tree is telling me that, or at least to me, it seems like Rykard took this place over, because he doesn't like the Earth Tree. But for some reason they have Earth Tree banners here, so maybe he took this place over, like a squatter, basically. He's squatting in the Volcano Manor. But then on the other hand, we already have these weird looking statues with the snake and the bird body. Which lets me think that they've built this, that Rykard actually built this place. Or maybe there was a cult. There was a cult living in here that was worshipping the serpent. Then Rykard came and said, it's just... I don't know what happened here. I have to watch some lore video again to refresh my memory. And this was kinda, or this part over here is kinda disappointing in my opinion, because here we have this interesting looking building, right? There's a door here, then you have different ways entering this building itself. We can jump over here, enter it from the balcony. We can just open the door. Or we can go around this side and climb up this ladder, enter from the roof. Well, and we can actually see a secret, or we can see something over there, which could be of interest. Placement of the ladder. I mean, it's just a ladder, but why do you place it right in front of the window? Don't you want to place it like over here, or maybe at this part? Like, these are like minor details that are usually you wouldn't see them, right? But when you look at them when you're actually searching for mistakes and nice details you have a look at these details on purpose, right? Then you see some strange things. Let's call them strange things. Oh, you cannot open this from this side. Okay. Excuse me, I thought you can open this from that side. Apparently not, so let's open it from this side. Okay, we have to do a break-in. Great. Alright, let's go in here, and this is their torture dungeon, basically, where they are, for some reason, torturing Albinorics. And if you've seen the, what's it called, Vati video, where he, I think the most recent video, where he talked about the Albinorics and you can actually see here that their legs are slowly fading, which he was partially talking about, or also talking about. I don't get why they have to torture Albinorics like this over here, but, well, you do you. Maybe they're trying to turn them into snake people this way. I don't know. I have no idea why, how, and what else. How do we actually... I think from the roof, right? You can go on the roof and then jump down to the balcony without, well, a railing. That leads us to this room thingy over there, which I will jump to now. Come on, come on. Higher. Here we go. Right. Okay, we jumped from the roof. We remember there was a ladder, and then we jumped down here, and for some reason they have this big ass door, but no railing over here. And yes, you can go down there, but it makes no sense. And here we have more torture and killing devices, I guess. And a omen killer. And then this very awkward ladder up here. Like, I'm not a fan. I'm not going up there now. Let's keep going. We go down here and, well... comment about the torture dungeon. Yes, it looks like a torture dungeon. It looks like how I would imagine a torture dungeon, yeah. With small as cells, so people can't even stretch their legs. That they can't sleep well. Well, what you would expect, right? Okay, you can stop screaming. Here we have... well, another... I don't know why this exists, like... this thing is annoying me inside. Can you stop screaming? Like, for real. Well, in here is our saving grace, so to speak. A stake of America. Was it a stake? No, it was a summoning pool. I am an idiot. Well, I'm not, but I am. And now. Well, again, no railing, but a ladder. Oh boy. Why do they have a ladder here? How are they going to... excuse me, I'm quite tired. Why are they not building a staircase? Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, well. But yeah, I guess this part we are at right now is just sunk into the lava. I guess. Well, same town as before, just this time with more snake, bird, angel statues, I guess, like there's the body of a bird, like maybe an owl or a crow, something like this. The wings look like angel wings, actually, not like bird wings. Or maybe they look like bird wings, I don't know. To me it looks more like an angel wing, to be honest. And then we have a snake head, which is interesting. So snake, deaf, holy? I don't know. This is how I would interpret it. Very strange indeed, I know. But I'm not here to interpret weird ass statues. I'm here, well, because I want to make this video. Then, let's keep going, because up to this point it's, well, the Volcano Manor is quite the linear level. There's basically just this one path, and sometimes we have a little loop in here, but it's, well, it's a legacy dungeon and it's built like, I don't know, it reminds me of a better or a actually good version of the Iron Keep from Dark Souls 2. Oh boy, here we have elevators, which I don't even know how they work, like, it's just a gameplay mechanic. These elevators make absolutely no sense. Well, there's actually an upcoming elevator that actually could make sense, which is my second favorite type of elevator. And for me there are three types of elevators. The best type is the one that is powered by magic. Oh, let's say that is clearly powered by magic, because magic in this game exists and it makes sense. Then my second favorite type of elevator is an elevator which is basically one big, what's it called, column? One big piece of stone, where you could argue that there is an actual mechanism behind this thing. But this is clearly not a mechanism. This is clearly a pressure plate that is linked to nothing. So it won't work. Nah. Oh well. Down here we basically also have just a dead end. Here we have a mini-boss to fight, a magma worm that I'm not triggering. When you go and grab this item or go on this platform over here, get too close to that spot over there, that lava spot over there, he's coming out. Let's actually see what is here. Well, nothing, we came from here basically. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, so it's again a dead end with a boss, or a mini-boss. So nothing special over here, so let's go upstairs again. By the way, I don't know how all the wood down here is not catching fire. This must be so hot down here, like... Let's just... Maybe you know how hot lava usually is, like... How hot would it be here? Probably extremely hot, like... And I don't get why these buildings are still standing right here. They would probably just melt in the lava. Even the stone would melt. Well, I guess lava is molten stone. At least a specific type of molten stone. Well, but I wonder what all of this was once. Like, here this is clearly not broken down, but over here we have like, this was clearly broken. Like, there was more stone platform over here. I wonder how far the stone platform is actually reaching. Probably to the stone wall over here, like a complete, well, plaza, I guess. Up here we can... what's it called? Up here we can call up this big ass bridge with an actual mechanism. I don't know if it would work, but it's an actual mechanism. And it looks like it could work. Well, this one came out of the lava, and then the player character can immediately walk over it. And this is made out of metal, so this would be so fucking hot. Holy shit. But here we are looping back to this grace over here, the Prison Town Church grace, which is quite nice. Quite the nice shortcut. So if we die in this church over here, which is a church, right? No, it's a temple, excuse me. The church is over there, and the temple is over here. Because in here is a boss, which can be, depending on your level, quite difficult, which is the Godskin Noble, the large one, the round one. And well, in here we have a lot of snake stuff and even a, well, dead head of a snake. I wonder who killed this one. Oh man, I'm really tired, excuse me. But this looks quite impressive. This looks awesome. Reminds me of Bloodborne, the place where they hung up the blood-starving beast in Old Yharnam. Kind of reminds me of that, where they skinned the thing and like spread it out. Quite gruesome. I don't know why they have these chains. Looks edgy. I guess that's why. And I'm talking about this thing over here. Wrong button. I've played too much Pokemon. Nintendo likes to switch around these buttons. I'm talking about this thing. This is one big piece of stone, and it actually looks like there could be a mechanism behind this pressure plate, which is why I quite like it. I still don't believe... What is wrong with me? I'm not that tired, but well... I still don't believe that this would actually work, and maintaining this thing would probably be a nightmare, but let's not think about this too hard. Up to this point, still quite linear, and it's not changing. The Volcano Manor is quite linear compared to Stormvale Castle, and to an extent, Leyndell, this one is staying quite linear. But well, we can look around, maybe grab some items. But nothing special here. It looks quite awesome, right? It looks interesting. But where we want to go is here. This place over here. We want to jump down here. And I don't know who put that there. Like a madman must have done this. And this is quite the impressive scenery. I really... excuse me. I really like the sounds that you're hearing in the background. This... like... quite... actually... let's see. This roaring, angry sound of lava is quite nice. I think it's a little bit too silent compared to other sounds in the game, but I wish this was a bit louder and a bit more angry. This was... no. Where is it? Like this, that's better. But as we go up here, we see this big ass thing, and yes, you can actually walk on top all of that area. There is no death zone here. You can, although quite slowly, you can walk even in here. This won't damage you. I mean, the lava would damage you, but this deals not more damage than the other lava. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but all this moving lava and standing in it makes me feel quite uncomfortable. Like, this makes me feel so uncomfortable. I guess I'm used to it right now, because I've done this a few times, but the first time I really cringed, and I don't know, like, maybe one of those unnecessary fears, or not unnecessary, what's it called? I don't know. But here we can actually see the buildings of the Volcano Manor. We are currently at this part over here, this row over here, which I don't know why you would build this thing so high up. I can just imagine that this one was once, that the lava was once lower, much lower, and you actually had this crater here, and then they built on the rim of the volcano this building, because I think this part is basically done with. Like, the lava would probably melt through the stone into the rooms inside. But again, it's kind of sad that you can't actually visit them, at least some of them. And it feels a bit empty to me. But oh well. Let's keep going, shall we? Finally. And I'm not going through every single one of the rooms here. Excuse me. Please stop that. Let me just quickly get rid of this thing. I should have used a lightning weapon. If you're struggling with killing them, just use a lightning infuse or some weapon that deals lightning damage. They are quite weak to lightning. Extremely weak. What do I want to talk about? Yeah, this looks quite interesting, right? We have this biggest tower over here. Is it correct on the map? That's not quite. Not quite there. Well, unlucky. We have this biggest tower that is connected via a elevator, I think. No, not this one. Where's the elevator? And we can jump down there, but it's somehow connected to the temple down there. But that must be in here. No, it's quite confusing. It's this one over here that is connected to the, yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Someone please kill him. Here to put then please the one I
Huh.
love this worthy the great.
I've never seen this one over here. Interesting. I've learned something new. But well, this elevator is connected to an elevator that is leading to the temple itself. So another shortcut. Well, not that it was very hard to get up here. You've basically just killed maybe a few snails and a abductor virgin. But still nice to have a shortcut over there. Then over here we have some... Nope, not here. Over here we have a walkway down there. And this is a prime example again of missing door or just weird layouting, where it looks impressive. This whole thing looks impressive, right? This tower thingy with all these, whatever this is. But how are you supposed to get into this building over here? Like, we have windows here, and we can actually get into this building down here, but there's no ladder, there's no staircase, nothing. Just this quite a lot of bones room with cages and bones and candles, stuff like this, right? And, well... And this is something that I mean, right? It looks impressive on the first sight, it looks impressive and it looks amazing. But then if you think too hard about it, or if you actually think a little bit about it, it makes no sense, the architecture. And again, why would they have... Not again, but why would they have chandeliers, I think they're called, when they have like all that lava over here? Like, this must be so... This is probably very bright in here. And then chandeliers, I guess they want to be fancy. Yeah, he's triggered to do that. Like... But quite interesting. I don't know what the sag there means. This one is obviously a bit more like a royalty maybe, but still weird. We are getting close to the end of the Volcano Manor quite right now, because here we have the throne room and a lot of skulls, servants, and Your Highness over here, the snake with like the eggshell still on the head. The only one who casts spells, by the way. Quite interesting. But this is what I like over here, right? We are at this point, usually it should be this one over here. Where is it? Yeah. The map isn't matching the actual building itself. And this is the lazy route to Rykard. You can only reach Rykard via teleporter, which is a bit disappointing. I wish there was a actual way to Rykard, like a physical way that you can walk. Because the arena of Rykard's arena is quite interesting. And we will have a look at that later on. And this room for me is quite the head scratcher room, because the floor is clearly cracked, right? Someone destroyed the floor here. But my question is, was the floor, like the whole part here, was there always floor? Like over here where the cage is, like, was here floor, or was it stopped it there? Like, why is it broken down in here? Who broke this? Was it connected to this part over there where the item is? I have no idea. I think this was a multi-layered room, like multi-storied room, like multiple rooms, but I have no idea. Would only make sense, right? Why would you have this door over here? This quite reminds me of this one jumping area in Bloodborne as well. Well, this whole area reminds me kind of Bloodborne, but let's not talk about that. Or maybe let's talk about this, because it's interesting. Because these rooms right here, they're just here to connect these different layers. I wish there were, I wish there were some doors here indicating that there are more rooms you could get to. But oh well, it's not the case. Because right here, like this is amazing. Yeah, there's a room behind here, which is great. I like that. And over there, so I just imagine this whole thing was one story. And then down here's the next one. And just shortly broken down. But I must say it's quite fun jumping down these cages to the bottom of this whole place. I really like this level design. But the world design, the it's quite odd, and it feels more like a level than a actual room that you would build like this. More torture dungeon down here, quite boring. And it actually leads to nowhere. I mean, I think this is the ultimate prize, the seedbed curse you're getting here. But I don't know, it feels strange. I think this should lead to something more. But here we are. This is the bridge, this is the temple. Down there somewhere is the church. And it's just this big empty space here, which feels a bit rushed, or they ran out of ideas or something like this, or out of assets, I don't know. This whole room feels a bit odd, because it's quite the fun level, like it's fun to jump down these cages, but it feels too empty. To me it feels too empty. And then this is just awkward design. This room also feels very empty. Why would you sit here and look at Reichardt's painting, you weirdo? Like, it feels so empty, and these walkways here just feel like they are there to connect to the level. They don't feel like they connect to the actual world itself. They only feel like they're connecting to the place you're supposed to go to. Like it feels strange to me. And have I? I have not. Ugh. Okay, let's get to the temple. Because now the only thing that is left is Reichardt. It's Reichardt's arena, which is awesome. The arena looks awesome and fantastical. I want to show it to you. I want to share my thoughts about this thing as well. So, to not waste some time here, let's talk about the Volcano Manor let's forward the rating of the Volcano Manor, because the level design is quite interesting. The level design is, there are a lot of enemies here, a lot of different enemies. On top of that, we have the snakes, we have Albinorics, like the servant dudes, abductor virgins, and all of that stuff. It's quite the big mix. And we have a wyvern to fight, we have like a monk to fight, like there's a lot going on here. Omen killer. There's a lot of variety, which is great. And the level itself is quite fun to go through. It's not too bullshitty. So enemy design and placements, like the variety of enemies, I would give it a 9 out of 10 probably. And for the level layout itself, like the pure level layout, the ways you have to walk through, it's nothing special. You have a few loops here and there, but you've always only one way. And while it's fun, it's nothing special. It's not as good as, for example, Stormvale Castle, right? So I would give this part a like 7, I guess, 6 or 7. I think 7, because it's quite fun to go through here. So all in all, 8 points for the level design. Now, the world building is interesting, right? And the idea is awesome as well. We have a volcano, we have a big ass volcano over here. Like, this part is the volcano. I think this is the main volcano over here. And then they've built a town here, and for some reason the wall broke or whatever. And then it all crashed down here. This is my headcanon. Maybe this isn't the case. Maybe all of this was there before, but why was the town built? on the lava itself. I don't get it. But the concept is quite awesome, right? The concept itself is awesome. But the problem is it feels too levelly. Like, it feels like a gameplay level. It doesn't feel really like a Volcano Manor. The manor part is quite short. Like, this part over here, the manor part is short. The town part is awesome. Like, the whole snake cult thing that's going on, like, basically over here is amazing. And the buildings actually make, in a fantasy setting, for a fantasy, like, in the fantasy setting, make a lot of sense. Especially the town itself over here, with almost right proportions, no missing doors. But then the manor part itself over here feels a bit lazy. Let's call it lazy, especially this part over here. Like the big ass room where you jump down, and then the part with Tanith, Bernal, all of this is a bit... It's not much. But yeah, world design, the idea is amazing. The idea is like a 9 or a 10. Probably a 10. The idea, I really like the idea of having buildings close to an active volcano like this. Like, the mix is amazing. And the lore idea with the people like having this prison town there and then the snake cult is also amazing. But the world feels a bit, especially the manor itself, feels very empty to me. But let's have a look at this throne or this room here itself. This looks epic and amazing. And it's apparently underneath the volcano itself. So the lava is, well, on top of this, on top of the ceiling, I just assume. Which is awesome. This is such an epic boss arena. Well, the boss is quite amazing. This might be possibly my favorite boss of the entire game, just from a epicness level, basically. Because the fight versus the Serpent and Rykard is amazing, and I don't mind the gimmick with the well, basically the Storm Ruler, with the Serpent Hunter. That's what it's called. But yeah, it looks just amazing. All these fancy-ass chandeliers, I don't know why they exist there, but it looks great. And it fits the theme, right? And it's already a fantastical place, so why not putting all these chains and chandeliers here? And then we have these... I don't even know, these people like grabbing onto the thing, maybe trying to climb up there to flee the serpent. This is amazing design. This, like, what I will do now at the end is trying to reach one of these chandeliers, and then I'm going to die because I'm splashing on the ground, but that's basically the end then. So with this arena all together, I must give the world design of the Volcano Manor I think an 8. It is quite the amazing level, quite the amazing legacy dungeon itself, and although it feels quite empty, especially in here, or only this part feels quite empty, it's countered by the amazing design of the town itself, or the town part itself. At least this part over here, this looks amazing. Yeah, it's a bit sad that you can't get into these buildings over here, but I've talked about this, well. So, level design was an 8 in total. And world design also an 8, I think. Did I say 8 or 9? I said 8, right? Yeah. An 8 and an 8. That's great, and let's have a look at this chandelier, and then we'll wrap things up. So let's get up here. I wonder how big this is, because this must be very large because it's so high up. And again, this game is playing with the perspective. It looked much smaller than before. Holy shit. Ugh. It's quite high up. But yeah, I guess that's it from me, and goodbye.